Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And last time we discussed how Krishna, when he killed Kamsa and he met Vasudev and Devaki and gave lots of, love, invoked their parental Vatsalya Bhav, and then he installed Ugrasena as the king. He brought all the Yadus and various other dynasties related to Yadus, Bhoja, Dasharha, Andhaka, Vrishni. He brought all of them back to Mathura, and then, after settling everything, he called Uddhava and sent him. He gave a message and sent him to Brindavan. Long message he gave, and we discussed in detail about that. And then when Uddhava he reached Brindavan, it was sunset, and the dust which was being raised by the hooves of the calves and the cows, it was filling the entire atmosphere. So nobody could see the chariot of Uddhava. So Uddhava directly came to the palace of Nand Maharaj, and he saw Nand Maharaj and Yashoda in very, very distressed condition. He gave some solace to Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, and in this way he spent whole night talking to them. In the morning, the gopis they saw the chariot, the golden chariot, and they thought, oh, it seems Akrura has returned back. Now why he has come? He has already taken Krishna. Now he has come to offer our flesh in the oblations. And that's where they were discussing, and then they saw Uddhava. Uddhava came out, after doing his morning duties, and all the gopis they were astonished. So that's what we discussed. So in the 47th chapter of the very, very beautiful chapter, which is entitled The Song of the Bee or Brahmara Geet. So Shukdev Goswami continues that when the gopis they saw Uddhava, they became very much astonished because Uddhava was having similar features as Krishna. They saw this servant of Krishna. They understood that he is a servant of Krishna because he was wearing the various cloths and the ornaments of Krishna, and he looked very similar with his beautiful lotus like eyes, yellow garment, and long hands, and he was wearing a lotus garland. He looked similar to Krishna. So they were thinking, who is this handsome man? Where has he come from? And he's wearing the ornaments and the clothes of Krishna. So saying this, all the gopis they crowded around Uddhava. So it is described in 11th canto, Uddhava himself is telling, Tayobabhukta sraggandha vasa lankara charchitaihi uchchishta bhojino dasastava mayam jayemihi. So Uddhava is telling Krishna that just by honoring the remnants of you, O my Lord, whatever you have worn on your body, your garland, your clothes, your ornaments, whatever is given up by you, just by accepting that in right consciousness, tava mayam jayemihi, I will also conquer this ocean of material existence. I will also conquer your material energy, O my Lord. So that's why Uddhava would always wear all the Maha of Supreme Lord. So gopis, they understood that he is a servant of Krishna, and he greeted them very nicely with bowed heads in front of Uddhava. With all their humility, they went and they took Uddhava to a quiet place because they did not want to talk with Uddhava in a public place in front of everybody, because they understood Krishna must have sent some message with this messenger. So he made them. So they made Uddhava sit, and then they questioned him in a very loving way, in a very uh, uh, deep voice full of sorrow and affection for Krishna. So because they were ladies and they could not go in front of Uddhava, so they had their veils covering their faces, and with their eyes they were just greeting Uddhava, and they worshipped him and they washed his feet. And by after doing all this, they asked, they said, Gopi said, we know that you are personal servant of Krishna and you have come here by the order of your master. And you know why you have come? You have come for, he has sent you for his parents. And actually, they are telling that now Krishna, why he will come personally? He is in a big post now, he has become king, and therefore, personally, he could not come. That's why he has sent you. And you know why he has sent you? Because know, he's fearing of criticism. People will criticize him, telling that just see, you know Krishna, he went and he did not even look at his mother and father, and he has completely forgotten. And Yashoda and Nand Maharaj, they are crying and they are about to die, so fearing such criticism, you know Krishna has sent you. And then actually they are telling, and you also did not come out on your own. You did not want to come here, but because you are order carrier of Krishna, that's why you have come. In this way, they are telling, they are talking to Uddhava, and then they tell, does he remember us? Does he remember the Braj Bhumi? Does he remember the pastures of Braja where he would tend cows? And then they say, actually, indeed, the bonds of affection for one's family is so very strong that even great sages cannot forget it. And then they say, actually, in this whole village, we do not see anybody more worthy of remembrance than Yashoda Mai and Nand Maharaj. What to speak of us? How can Krishna forget them? They are speaking in a very angry tone. How can Krishna forget Nand Maharaj and Yashoda? Krishna, he has very easily given up his relationship with so many of the gopis. How can he give up the relationship with his mother and father? Oh, what severe sense of renunciation Krishna has. In this way they are, you know, speaking in a very angry tone. And then they say, Anyeshwarth krita maitri yavad artha vidambanam kumbhi strishu krita yadvat sumanasvaya satpadai. So they are telling, oh Dhava, it is understood that friendships shown towards others who are not our family members, they do not last long, and they are always motivated by personal interest. Only people who are having some personal motive, they show interest towards those who are not their family members. Just like, a man, he takes interest in a woman only till the time he does not enjoy her, or bee takes interest in a flower only till the time he does not take nectar from that flower. So therefore they are telling that actually, you know that's how Krishna, now he has enjoyed with us and now he has forgotten us. Just like a man, just like a bee, he has forgotten us. निस्वं तजन्ति गणिका अकल्पम निपति प्रजा अधीत विद्या आचार्यम ऋत्विजो दत्त दक्षिणम. Just like a prostitute abandons a poor man, subordinates, subjects, they abandon their incompetent king. The students, they give up their teachers after their education is over, and up, and the man gives up a relationship with the priest, and the priests, they give up the relationship with the man after they get sufficient remuneration from them. In this way, Krishna has also forgotten us. Birds, they abandon the tree if there are no fruits. A guest abandons the house if there is, after taking meal. Animals, they also leave the forest after it is burnt. And similarly, lovers, they give up the women after enjoying. Actually, gopis, they are using a plural tense here, lovers. So they are telling that actually this implies that okay, it was okay if we would have many lovers. Generally, lovers, a man may have many, uh, just like when a woman, if she has many relationships, then it is okay to give up a woman. But if woman has only one lover, then why that woman should be given up? So we, from our childhood, we have loved Krishna. So why he gave us up? So gopis, they gave up all their work and they gave up everything for Krishna. But still Krishna gave up them. Why? So in this way they are telling, and then gopis, now they saw that now Uddhava has come, so they gave up whatever work they were doing and they surrounded Uddhava, and they were constantly remembering the various activities Krishna had done during the childhood, during his youth. And in this way, they were crying. They gave up all their shame, they started crying. And then they started speaking in such a indirect way. So now, what happens further is various gopis, they are speaking about Krishna, and they are speaking in a very different tones. And Chakravarti Thakur describes that 10 different types of impulsive speech is is spoken by the gopis. One of the gopis, she saw a bee, and she imagined that bee to be a messenger of Krishna. And who is that gopi? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that this gopi is Srimati Radharani. So all the other gopis, they were talking to Uddhava, but Radharani, she was so very absorbed in the feelings of separation from Krishna, she could not speak. And then somehow she controlled herself when she saw a bumblebee. And she was very angry to see that bumblebee. She's thinking, oh, Krishna has sent this messenger to pacify me. So she started thinking that this bumblebee is sent by Krishna with a message, and she started speaking to that bumblebee. That's why this whole section is called Brahmara Gita. It's actually only Radharani speaking, not all the gopis. Only Radharani is speaking various ways, telling her emotions. So Radharani, she began to speak with the bee, And actually, what she is telling to Lord Uddhava or to Lord Madhava through this bee, you know. So that's why this whole section is called Brahmara Gita. So these 10 verses, they are called Chitra Jalpa. Very astonishing speech which Srimati Radharani is making here. So, Srimati Radharani, although Shukdev Goswami does not even mention the name of Srimati Radharani anywhere in Bhagavatam, only indirectly once he mentioned Anaya Aradhito Nunam Bhagavan Haririshwaraha Yanno Vihaya Govinda Pritoyam Anayadraha. When Krishna left all the gopis, he took only one of the gopi with him, and that was Anaya Aradhito Nunam, that gopi who had worshipped Krishna very nicely. So this gopi, she started telling, "Oh Bumblebee, you are a friend of a cheater. You are a Kaitava Bandhu. Don't touch my feet with your whiskers." Very angrily, she is talking to that bumblebee. You are sent by Krishna. You are a messenger of Krishna. Let Krishna be satisfied with the women of Mathura. You go back, otherwise you will be ridiculed. You tell him that you don't have to think about us, or you'll be ridiculed in the assembly of Mathura. you know so in this way she started chastising and speaking very angrily with that bumblebee. So this first type of speech in which the lover speaks very cruel and rude words towards the beloved, and this speech is characterized by disrespect and indignation and jealousy and pride. That is called prajalpa. So when Srimati Radharani, she saw this bee buzzing around, she started speaking. She said, you are a Kitava Bandhu, you are a friend of a cheater." How you are a friend of a cheater? Because Krishna, he said, "Oh, for my sake you have given up everything for me, but and I have given you up." After Krishna came, he left all the gopis and then he came back. He said this, "You gave up everything for me and I have given you up." And then later he said, "Oh, my surrendered servants, oh, ladies, you have given up everything for me, but I cannot do anything in return. Be satisfied with your service." Such cheating. And thirdly, he said, as he was going, Akrura was taking Krishna. He said, "I will return quickly." And he has not come. Just see, he's such a cheater, and you are a friend of a cheater. Stay away, do not touch my feet. Bumblebee may say, "Why?" Radharani may say that, Radharani, saying that, "You are a Madhupa, you are drinking liquor." Another another meaning of liquor is Madhu. "And I don't want to become contaminated by your impure touch." So B may reply that, "Why are you accusing me of being a intoxicated man and drunk man? I have no fault." Radharani tells, "Oh, just see and look at your whiskers. You know, your whiskers are tinged by the kumkum, which was there on the garland of, the one of the beloved of Krishna's, and that's why you are contaminated." So in this way, Radharani is, speaking in such a angry way to this honeybee. And then, honeybee, this bumblebee, as he is hearing all that, the bumblebee, begins to fly around. It seemed to say that, "I see that you are saying so many bad words against Krishna. I don't want to stay here. I'm going back to Mathura." So in this way, as bumblebee is speaking in this way, she Radharani speaks with a greater anger. She says, "Are after giving nectar to all of us once, he has abandoned us now. Just as you are going from one flower to another flower, Krishna has abandoned all of us. It is not good. Just see now, goddess of goddess of fortune, she is also ready to serve him. You know why? Because Krishna has stolen the mind of goddess of fortune also. This is called Parijalpa, you know. So Bumblebee may say, "Arey, why are you scolding me? This color of my whiskers, they are normal, they are natural color, they are natural yellow color. Why are you giving me all the bad words?" Radharani may say, "But you know, problem is your master has only gave us mercy once. Although Krishna has given them mercy so many times, but she's saying, no, 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 your master has given only once his mercy." So B may argue, "Arey, but scriptures they tell that Krishna has no fault." Radharani tells, "Well, that may be the case, but you know what is the problem? You cannot cover up the real facts of life by quoting the scriptures. The real fact of life is Krishna has given us such pain. He has cheated us. He has given us so many of the assurances and he has not fulfilled any of them." O B, Radharani continues. She says, "Oh, B, why are you singing about Lord Krishna in front of people like us? We are homeless. You go and you sing all these glories of Krishna to the new girlfriends of Krishna who are there in Mathura. They will give some charity, you know." So this angry speech is called Vijalpa, you know, where Radharani is showing the seed of jealousy towards the women of Mathura. And then, Radharani tells that actually, for Krishna, any woman is available. Just by his arched eyebrows, he can conquer any woman in entire universe, even heavenly damsels, all the wives of devatas. Anybody is ready to become the servant of Krishna. And this expression is called Ujjalpa, where Radharani is, accusing Krishna of being a cheater, and he finds fault with his behavior. Krishna has such behavior that he can attract any woman. And then, as Radharani is speaking all that, this bumblebee was flying around, and then the bumblebee landed on the feet of Radharani. And Radharani, when she sees this, she tells that, "Keep your head off my feet. You don't come near me. You don't touch me. I know you have learned diplomacy from Mukunda. Now that's why you have come and you are flattering me by your message." It's in this way all the uh, speech is going on, and so this speech is called as Sanjalpa. You know, so where Radharani is speaking with such deep irony and insulting gestures. So she is just telling that, "Oh, you have learned all this diplomacy from your master Mukunda. Just see what he has done. He's also spoke so many nice words, and now he has abandoned all of us. It is not good. Why should we make up with him now? Huh? Why should we talk with him now?" Radharani tells, "Now you cannot cheat me. He has cheated us many times in the past, and now he cannot cheat us. He may be able to cheat the goddess of fortune. He may be able to cheat the heavenly damsels, but now we will not get cheated. We have got so many lessons. We have learned our lessons. And we are seeing that you are so very diplomatic. You have also learned so many lessons from Mukunda. And that's why you are coming in such a humble way. I know your character. You go back." So the bee may say, "Oh, mistress, what is the use of fighting with me? And what is the use of arguing and giving bad names to Krishna? Let's go and make peace with Krishna. You give me some good message, I'll send that message to Krishna, and you can make peace with Krishna through me." Radharani tells, "Arey, we have given up everything. We gave up our husbands, children, well-wishers, pati sutanvayad, bhratra bandhava, nati vilangyate, everything, everyone we gave up. Married gopis like us, we gave up our husbands," Radharani is telling. Unmarried gopis, they gave up their mother and father. And Krishna is so very ungrateful that he gave up all these women. Why should we go and make peace with such a person? No, no, never ever we will make. any peace. So, as this bumblebee is hearing and moving around, so this is the conversation which Chakravarti Thakur is writing. So, bee, as it is moving around, it seemed to say that, oh, Srimati Radharani, actually, Krishna is so very tender hearted, he is meditating on you in Mathura. I have seen it with my eyes. Radharani tells, you are new to Mathura. You don't know about Krishna. He is such a cruel hearted person. Not in this life. In the previous lives also, he has done so many wrong things. We have heard from Purnamasi. You know what all he has done? Array, like a hunter, he cruelly shot the king of the monkeys. Vali was killed. As Ramchandra, we have heard from Purnamasi that Krishna was Ramchandra, and in the last time, in the last life, he killed a king of monkey hiding behind the bushes. And then, because Lord Ram, he was conquered by a woman, his wife Sita, he disfigured another woman who came with lusty desires. He disfigured, he told Lakshman to cut off the nose and ears of Shurpanaka. And then, in another pastime, what he did? Bali Maharaj, he gave up everything. But in return, what he did to him? He bound him with Varun Pash. Just see how cruel hearted that personality is. So, therefore, we don't want any friendship with this personality. Let us give up all our friendship. We don't want to even talk with that person now. So, this speech is called Avajalpa. You know. So, in this, again, jealousy and fear is there. So, that's why, Radharani is speaking in this way. But then Radharani starts thinking, what is so remarkable about our suffering? Actually, this pastimes of Krishna, they are so very dangerous that all these pastimes of Krishna, they rather than giving up happiness, they create fear and sorrow. यदनुचरित लीला कर्ण पीयूष विप्रुट सकृत धन विधूता द्वंद्व धर्मा विनष्टा सपदि गृह कुटुंबम दीनमुत्सृज्य दीना बहव इह विहंगा भिक्षुचर्याम चरन्ति. So they are telling, so Radharani is telling, actually, discussion of the pastimes of Krishna, they give sorrow to the whole world. Very amazing, speech Radharani is making. She's saying, Yad Anucharita Leela. Anybody, Karna Piyusha, anybody who hears the pastimes of Krishna through his ears, one who drinks this nectar of Krishna Katha through his ears, Sakrit Adhana Vidhuta Dvandva Dharma Vinashta. Just by relishing the drop of this nectar even once, Sakrit, even once, Sakriteva Prapanno, as Lord Ram said, even once if somebody says, I am yours, O my Lord. So gopis are telling, even if somebody hears even once, what happens? Dvandva Dharma Vinashta. Their dedication to all the dualities of the world gets ruined. They are no more attracted to anything of this world. Sapadigrih kutambam deenamutsrijya deena. And in this way, they give up their wretched homes and they themselves become wretched. Bhava iha vihanga bhikshucharyam charanti. Just like birds, they become like beggars, wandering from one place to another in Vrindavan, looking for Krishna. So Radharani is, making such speech that is called Abhijalpa. So Chakravarti Thakur writes in a very, very, different meaning to this. He says, Krishna Katha is such a poisonous mixture of sugarcane juice and the powdered seeds of Dhatura plant. Dhatura is a very poisonous. So Krishna's pastimes, they are like the poisonous mixture of sugarcane juice and dhatura plant. So it tastes sweet, but the effect is very, very deadly. And then he says, actually, the speaker of this pastimes of Krishna, they are the murderers in the dress of a saint. So very wonderful understanding. And he says that actually, these speakers of Harikatha, they carry a net. Their net is a Puran. They carry the Puranas in the arm of their, in the armpit, and under their arm they carry the Puranas, which is like a net, and then they spread this news, spread this net everywhere, trying to catch hold of the material conditioned souls. And then after they are caught, they suffer so much. What is the separation? They suffer in separation from Krishna, just like us. Chakravarti Thakur, Kaviraj Goswami writes, Krishna ji ni Padma Chand Pakti Ache Mukh Phand Tate Adhar Madhu Smita Char Brajanari Yasi Yasi Phande Pade Hoye Dasi Chadi Lajapati Ghar Dwar. So Kaviraj Goswami says, Krishna, after conquering the beauty of the lotus and the moon, now he has spread the news of his beauty, and in that he has put a bait of his beautiful smile. You know, Krishna Jini Padmachand Pati Ache Mukh Phand. He has spread the news of his beauty. Tate Adhar Madhu Smita Char. The bait is the beautiful smile on his face. And what is happening? Brajanari Yasi Yasi Phande Pade Hoye Dasi. And all the Braj ladies, they are coming, giving up all their relationships, and they are falling in this trap. Chhadi Lajpati Ghar Dwar, giving up all the shame, all their relatives, everything. So after hearing all that, the bumblebee may say, Arey, you are so very intelligent. Why did such intelligent ladies, establish friendship with such a lover, such a person as Krishna? Radharani tells, Arey, because Krishna said, Naparayeham. He spoke so beautifully, such lovingly, that we believed. We were so fools that we put faith in the statement of such a cheater. It is as if a black deer putting faith in the song of a hunter and falls in trap of the hunter. So therefore, Radharani is telling, actually we faithfully believed the words of that cheat Krishna, and therefore now we are trapped, and we are repeatedly feeling such pain because of separation of Krishna. So this statement is called Ajalpa. So now, as Radharani is speaking all these words, bumblebee is buzzing around, and then suddenly Radharani, out of his madness of love, she is not able to find this bumblebee. So she starts thinking, oh, maybe this messenger, because of my harsh words, sharp words, messenger has gone back to Krishna, and he must have told whatever I was telling. And what will happen now? Krishna will become indifferent towards me, as Radharani is speaking all, thinking all this. Suddenly this bumblebee appears again. And when she sees this bumblebee again, she becomes so very respectful towards this bumblebee, because she was thinking, will Krishna send that messenger again? Will he talk to me again? So when Bumblebee appears, Radharani becomes so very respectful, and now she's not saying anything against Krishna. She's telling, oh bee, my beloved has sent you again. It is so very nice. You are my friend. Please choose whatever boon you want. I am so very pleased with you. Why have you come actually back? You want to take us to Krishna? You want us to go to Krishna with you? But if we go back to Krishna and we see all the Mathura ladies surrounding him, we'll become so very jealous. I'll get uncontrollable jealousy if I'll see Krishna surrounded by the ladies of Mathura. Be metal. I swear that Krishna is alone in Mathura. He is not surrounded by any other lady. Are, how is this possible? Goddess of fortune is there residing in the chest, on the chest of Krishna as a Shrivatsa. And in this way, the discussion is going on. Radharani continues. We are regretting that now because Krishna is in Mathura, he has forgotten us. Then Radharani is telling in a very, very sad tone, does he remember his father? Does he remember his household affairs? Does he remember his friends? Does he remember us? When will he come? Will he ever come, and will he put his aguru scented hands again on our heads? So as Radharani speaking all that, Uddhava, he heard all this and he tried to pacify all the gopis, and then he started relating the message of Krishna. Aho yuyam sma purnartha bhavatyo loka pujita vasudeve bhagavati yasamityarpitam manah. So Uddhava is telling, Aho yuyam sma purnartha, certainly you gopis are all successful. Why? Are not only in this world, Bhavatyo Loka Pujita, you are worshipped by the entire universe. Because Vasudeve Bhagavati Yasam iti Arpitam Manaha. Arpitam Mana, you have dedicated your mind to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. Aho, it is so very astonishing, amazing. Aho, Aho Yuyam, it's so very amazing. Whatever you have done, it is unparalleled, it is unheard of. And then he continues, Dan vrata tapo homa japasvadhaya samyame shreyo bir vividhaischanye krishne bhaktir sadhyate. O gopis, by charity, by vows, by austerities, by doing sacrifices, by chanting, by doing all the studies of the Vedic scriptures, by controlling the mind and the senses, or anything which is mentioned in the scriptures, devotional service is attained only if these things are done in relation to Krishna. Dan, give in charity to Vaishnavas. Vrata, do Ekadashi Vrata, do the austerity of giving up things which you like. Krishna Arthe Akhila Bhoga Tyag. Nectar of Devotion mentions. Do sacrifices which are Vaishnava sacrifices. Chant the names of Lord Vishnu. Study all those scriptures which are telling about devotional service. In this way, one can attain devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhavati Bhi Anuttama Bhakti Pravartita Dishtya Muninam Apyadurlabha. O gopis, by your great fortune, Dishtya, by your fortune, great fortune, you have established unparalleled standards of devotion. Bhakti Pravartita. Pravartita means you have established unparalleled standards of devotion. That standard is even unattainable by great sages. Muninam api durlabha. Even great sages, they cannot attain such a wonderful position. The gopis, they had attained the highest bhav, and their bhav was nitya siddha. You know, and the power of the pastimes of gopis is mentioned by Shukdev Goswami. Vikriditam brajabadhu idam cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito anushrunayad yathavarnayed yaha Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hridarogamashu apahinoti achirena dhiraha. Anybody who with faith and devotion hears the wonderful pastimes which all the gopis have performed with Krishna, his material contamination will go away. Hridarogam mashu apahinoti. Achirena, very quickly. And then Uddhava continues, O great ladies, by your good fortune, you have given up all the association with your family members, with your friends, with your sons, daughters, relatives, only to favor, only in the favor of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, gopis gave up everything. Chakravarti Thakur writes that it is not that gopis literally they gave up their homes, because there is no history like that. The gopis continued to stay with their family, they continued to take care of the children and the husbands, but they had no possessiveness. That is very important. As Kunti Maharani says, Namo Kinchana Vittaya, you are the you are the property of the impoverished. You know. So therefore the gopis they had no possessive mentality. Whatever they were doing was for the pleasure of Krishna. So they renounced all their egotistical sense of possession, egoistical, whatever their possessions were, they gave up the possessive mentality. Everything I have is only for Krishna. They never tried to enjoy their possessions. Sarmatma bhav adhikrito bhavatina madhokshje virahena mahabhaga mahan me anugraha kritah. Then Uddhava is telling, O gopis, sarvatma bhava adhikrita. Adhikrita, very important word. You have rightfully claimed the privilege of unalloyed love. You have claimed the privilege. Bhavatinam adhokshaje, O Bhavatinam, all great ladies, you have claimed, rightfully claimed the privilege of unalloyed love towards the transcendental Lord. Virahena Mahabhaga, O most glorious gopis, O Mahabhaga, just by exhibiting such unparalleled love, even though you are in separation from Krishna, Krishna is not there. Still, you have such unalloyed love for him. You have done such a great favor to me. Anugraha, Mahan me Anugraha. Are you have done such a great favor to me by allowing me to see and witness such unparalleled love. You know, as it is said that actually, when Uddhava he came to Vrindavan, he had some attachment to his knowledge, and he was wearing a hat of knowledge. But when he came to Vrindavan and he saw the heights of the love of gopis, he looked up, 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 and his hat fell off. You know, so that is the supreme love which these gopis are displaying. In one of the prayers of Brahmaji, it is said, Jivet yo mukti pade sadai bhag. We can also become the rightful flamers of attaining love of God. In what consciousness? When whatever problems coming in our life, we accept it in right consciousness. Tatte anukampa sushamikshamano bhunjanu evatma kritam vipakam ridvagva purbhir vidhan namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadai bhag. Whatever problems are coming in our life, Krishna is giving just a token. I was supposed to suffer much, much more. Krishna has given me very little. If we are having this consciousness throughout our life, then we also become the rightful claimers of liberation. As he's saying, Uddhava is telling, Sarvatma Bhavo Adhikrita, you have rightfully claimed the unalloyed love. That is how Krishna, the gopis, Uddhava is glorifying. Gopis may say, how is it auspicious for you? Are we have given up our everything, and you are telling we are most fortunate? Uddhava is saying, yes, you have shown me the highest levels of prema. Gopis may say, oh Uddhava, in speaking about Mahabhav and all these big, big things, and you are telling about our glorious position, you are praising us. You don't know how much we are suffering. Do you have some message for of Krishna? Krishna has sent some message with you or what? Please tell us that if you have bought this, if you have got some message. So, expecting these, questions, Uddhava tells, "O gopis, now hear the message which Lord Krishna has sent for all of you." And then he continues, he starts the message of Krishna. Bhavatinam viyogo me nahi sarvatmana kvachit yatha bhutani bhuteshu kham vayu agni jalam mahi tathaham cha manah prana bhutendriya gunashraya. Krishna is telling, "Oh gopis, actually you are never separated from me. I am the soul of all the living entities and I am there with you always." Just like the elements of nature, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, they are present in everything created. I am present in each and every living entity. So actually, Chakravarti Thakur writes that, all the messages which now Krishna is speaking, they have one apparent meaning, but there is a different hidden meaning which Krishna has given for the gopis. If you remember, when Krishna was sending Uddhava, he was telling, "You go and tell my message as it is, don't use your cleverness, because your message will not pacify the gopis. The hidden meaning which I'll be giving through these messages, that will pacify the gopis." So Chakravarti Thakur, he describes the hidden meaning behind all the verses. You know. So what is the hidden meaning behind this verse? It is said that Krishna is telling that, "Oh gopis, I am there with you always and I'll be reciprocating with the special love which you have for me." People who are foolish, they think that Krishna, he sent some philosophical message to all the gopis so that the gopis can get liberated. They don't understand that the gopis' love is beyond the gyan which Uddhava is going to give to these gopis. The love of gopis is like a fire which will burn the message of this gyan which Uddhava is going to give them. Because the gopis, they are anyways, they are already liberated. If you remember when gopis, they came for Ras dance, that time Krishna, he gave the message of Karma Yoga. You go to your family, you serve them, and then worship me while doing your duties. In this way, you will be with me. That time also, gopis did not take it seriously. And now, Krishna is giving this jnana. And now also, gopis are not going to take this jnana seriously. So actually, like Mohini Murti, she gave nectar to devatas and did not give anything to demons. She cheated demons. So all these verses, they are giving one meaning to the gopis, and the devotees understand in that way. And those who are not devoted, they get a different understanding from these verses which are spoken by Krishna. So then when Krishna tells that, "Oh, I am the creator, I am there in everyone's heart," gopis may say, "You are Satchidananda and this universe is different from you." Krishna says, "Yes, this universe is different from me because I have created this universe by my external potency. I create, I maintain and destroy this universe by my external potency, Yogama, Mahamaya. This is the result of my Maya Shakti." For gopis, it has a different meaning. Krishna is telling, "O gopis, I make my appearance in your minds by my own effort." Krishna told, "I manifest this entire universe by my own effort, by my potency." Actually, gopis, Krishna is telling them, "I will appear in my mind, in your mind by my own effort." What is the effort? I will employ my Yoga Maya and I will always be with you. I'll always be in your mind, you know. And then he says, Krishna is telling, soul is different from everything, and we can perceive the soul through the three functions of the mind: Jagrata, Swapna, and Sushupti. It is described in great detail in Uddhava Gita that how when either we are awake or we are sleeping or in a deep sleep, even in the deep sleep, we can understand, we can perceive ourselves different from the body, and we can see the super soul and perceive the super soul. So that is the first meaning, where Krishna is telling that people of this world, they know me as Paramatma, but for gopis it has a different meaning. Krishna is telling, I am conscious, I'll reveal myself in your mind as Bhagavan. you know Either you are awake or you are dreaming or you are in deep sleep, you will see me always. If you are awake, you will see so many of the pastimes places and you will be conscious of me. When you are dreaming, you will remember my association in the dreams also. In this way, you will always be with me. I'll be always perceived with your mental faculties. He says, just as, you know, after sleep, one, if somebody is dreaming in the sleep, even if he gets up from the sleep, he thinks about the dream. Therefore, O gopis, controlling of the mind is very, very essential if you want to perceive the soul and super soul. That is the process of Gyan Marg, perceiving, controlling the mind. Actually, what Krishna is telling to gopis, O gopis, I have given you all sorts of enjoyment, but still you are so much pained because of separation. You know why this is happening? Because your mind is so very uncontrolled. You are forgetting my association. So therefore, that is giving you such great unhappiness. So therefore, please control your mind. That's why I have sent this messenger, so that you understand that whatever I have given you, I want to remind you. Krishna tells, O gopis, control of mind is the ultimate goal of all the purposes. Whatever Ashtanga, whatever Gyan Marg, every path is proposing only the control of mind. Just like the sea is the ultimate destination of all the rivers, mind control is the ultimate aim of all the processes. For the gopis, what is the meaning? Krishna is telling, O gopis, if you just control your mind and you remember the past times, you'll be free from the pain of separation. This uncontrolled mind is making you think that I am not with you. This uncontrolled mind is making you think that I am gone, but I am with you. Control your mind. That's why he's telling all that. When a gopis and Radharani, they hear all these words, they think, they tell, Uddhava, you know what you have done? You have doubled our pain. By giving such message, you have doubled our pain. You are such a ignorant fool. They are giving all, bad words. You don't know, you have no consideration of time, place, and circumstance. You have no proper sense of discretion. You have come to Braja to sell this, with this burden, to sell this burden of Brahma Gyan. Arey, this will not, nobody will buy this in Braja. Braja Bhav is not about Brahma Gyan. Arey, gopis, all of us, we have drank the nectar of Krishna's beauty since our childhood. And now you are telling us to drink this bitter juice of Brahma Gyan. You don't know about this. Actually, if there is famine, even if there is a great famine, it is better for a woman to give up their lives by fasting rather than eating grass. And just see, just hear this great fool. He is telling us to hear about this Brahmagyan. Actually, you know what is this Brahmagyan? This Brahmagyan may be the medicine for the sickness of material existence. And I know the gopis are, we know that this is there in the heart of all the saintly physicians, all the saintly and the great powerful uh, yogis and the gyanis. They give this medicine of Brahmagyan. But can it be cure for the sickness of those afflicted with Krishna Prem? You know, Krishna has taught you all this. Krishna has sent you with this all medicine of Brahmagyan. Now you become our messenger. You take this knowledge, you take this medicine and go back to your master and give him this Brahmagyan. And his fever may get reduced by hearing this Brahmagyan because he is also in separation. Our fever will not decrease by this Brahmagyan. We are better with this fever of prema. We are ready to live in this way for hundreds of births. We don't want your medicine of Brahmagyan. We will not even touch that medicine. So, in this way, they speak very strongly. And then, as the gopis, they start speaking in a very, very strong way. Uddhava tells, wait, 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 just hear a moment. I have brought some other message also. So the gopis said, okay, क्या है बताओ और क्या message लाए यत्त्वां भवतीनां वै दूरे वर्ते प्रियो दृशां मनसः सन्निष्कर्षार्था मदनुध्यान काम्यया. Now Krishna is telling, oh gopis, you know why I went away from you? Why I became separated from you? I stayed away from you just to intensify your meditation upon me and to draw your minds closer to me. Mana sannikarshartham. I wanted to draw your mind towards me. That's why I have separated myself from you. And he says, when a lover is away, a woman, he thinks of him even more than when he is present. The gopis may tell, oh Uddhava, this message also you keep with you only. You keep this message with you in your heart and you go back. And you know what will happen in future? Krishna, just like he has given up all of us, he will give up all the ladies of Mathura also, and they will be in separation. That time you tell them all this. You don't tell all this to us. You gave all this message to the women of Mathura. You know why? Because even if Krishna was present in front of us in Vrindavan, just a moment of separation from Krishna was like a age. Truti yugayate twam apashyatam. So what are you speaking about all these things? So when the gopis they started speaking in such a way, Uddhava tells, okay, okay, okay. If this message does not appeal to you, I have one more message. I have brought many messages. You don't worry. Mana aveshya mayyaveshya mana kritsnam vimukta shesha vrittiyat anusmarantyo mam nityam achiran mam upaishyata. So now Krishna is telling, O gopis, because your minds are totally absorbed in me, you have become free from all other material engagements, and therefore you are always remembering me. Anusmarantyo mam nityam. Very soon you will be in my presence again. And then he says that Krishna continues that although some gopis they stayed behind, they could not join me in the ras dance, but they were always united with me by their remembrance. So this was the message Uddhava gave to all the gopis, and the gopis, when they heard this message, they were pacified and pleased little bit because they got to hear about Krishna. And then they addressed Uddhava. They said, "O Uddhava, it is good that now Krishna has killed the Kamsa, and he is giving pleasure to all the relatives. He is giving pleasure to the ladies of Mathura. Some of the other gopis, they start speaking in a very bitter way. Oh, gentle Uddhava, the elder brother of Gada. So Gada is one of the daughters of Devak. So Devaki, so gopis, they are now relating Krishna with the dynasty of Devaki. They are telling now, elder brother of Gada, he is giving pleasure to the ladies of Mathura. Why he will remember all of us? Because those ladies of Mathura, they are worshipping with him beautiful, shy smiles. Why he'll return? Why he'll remember us? Other gopis said, oh, foolish women, why are you asking the same question again? You should have no doubt about it. Krishna is so very expert in conjugal affairs. He will attract and captivate the mind of all the ladies of Mathura, and he will become so very entangled with all of them. So, why are you asking all these things? Then, another gopi tells, but does Krishna remember us? Api smarati na sadho govinda prastute kvachit goshti madhye purastrinam gramya swaira kathantare. Does Krishna ever remember us? No doubt now Krishna is supreme Lord and he has rejected us, but still, when he is talking and having all the fun and nice talks with the ladies of Mathura, does he remember us? When he's joking and talking freely with the ladies of Mathura, and the ladies of Mathura, they are so very sophisticated. They may be singing and they may be making jokes. Does Krishna ever remember us? Does he ever tell, Arey, all these things, they are unknown to my gopis in my village of Vrindavan? Does he ever speak like this? Gramya Swaira Kathantare. In this way, they continue. Does Krishna ever recall the beautiful Vrindavan, the various places where we performed so many pastimes? In the Rasa dance, we chanted so many of the glories of Krishna, and we enjoyed such nicely with Krishna. And during the Ras dance, the entire surrounding was filled with the sound of the ankle bells. Does Krishna remember all that anytime? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually, gopis, they are not selfish. They are thinking that we know what will give Krishna the greatest pleasure. Krishna is happiest in Vrindavan. And now Krishna has gone away from Vrindavan. He will not be happy. So therefore, why he has gone away, that's why they are in such separation, because they were not able to tolerate, they are distraught, thinking, oh, Krishna is not enjoying properly. So all the gopis, for them, Krishna's happiness is the supreme, their own happiness is nothing. And then some other gopi says, will he ever come back? Apiyeshyatish dasharha tapta swakritaya shucha sanjeevayannu no gatrair yathendro vanamambudai. Will he ever come back? Will he ever again give us pleasure by the touch of his limbs? Sanjeevayannu no gatrair. Will he ever enliven us again? Will he save us from this burning heat, just like Lord Indra sends the rains and relieves the heat of the forest? Will he ever come? Hearing this, some other gopi, who was in a very vam bhav, in an angry way, she starts speaking. Oh, foolish woman, you do not know all that. Krishna, where he gets the greatest happiness, he does not get the happiness in Rasa dance. Why will he come here? Now he is surrounded by the various queens. He's married with so many of the daughters of the kings. Why he will come back? And they are giving him much more pleasure. So why he'll come back? And then they say, who are we? We are just simple, village ladies. And Krishna, he has already fulfilled all his desires. Whatever he desires gets fulfilled. Goddess of fortune is there on his chest. Kimasma abhir vanokabhir. Anyabhirva Mahatmana, are whatever he desires, he achieves. So how can we forest dwellers, how can we, the simple ladies of Vrindavan, can fulfill his purpose? So in this way they are, lamenting. And then one other gopi tells, the greatest happiness is to renounce all the desires, as Pingala prostitute said. You know, Pingala we heard in the 11th canto Uddhava Gita. Pingala was waiting for various men throughout night, and she developed feelings of renunciation. She completely became detached. So the gopis, they are telling, Are Pingala has declared that the desire is the cause of suffering, but how can we give up the desire to be with Krishna? Are Pingala could give up the desire because he was not, she was not after Krishna. That's why she could give up the desire for other men. We are after Krishna. How can we give up the desire to be with Krishna? Who can give up the talks about Krishna? Huh? Krishna, even Lord, goddess of fortune, is not leaving the chest of Krishna. He is so very, exalted and beautiful. If we forget him, you know, our desire for him would decrease. But the problem is, we are not able to forget him. Wherever we go in Brindavan, we see so many of the places. Here Krishna performed this pastime, here Krishna was playing flute, here Krishna was playing with his elder brother Balram. All these remind us of Krishna. When we go in the Brindavan, we see the footprints of Krishna. It all reminds us. How can we forget all these things? How can we forget the smiles? How can we forget the very beautiful loving glances of Krishna, the beautiful enchanting words which he spoke? Uddhava may tell, Are, if you keep remembering him by looking around at the rivers and the mountains, then how can you forget him? You know, you know what you should do? Use your intelligence and don't allow your mind to wander. Gopis say, Are, that is not possible. Our intelligence is stolen by Krishna. So how can we not remember him? And in this way, the gopis, they become so very disturbed, extreme distress. They turn towards Mathura and they start crying piteously. He Nath, He Ramanatha, Vrajnatha, Artinashana, Magnam Uddhar Govindo, Gokulam, Vrijnarnavat. He Nath, O Master, O husband of goddess of fortune, Vrajnath, Artinashana, O destroyer of the sufferings of Brajvasis, please come back. Please deliver us, all the Brajvasis who are drowning in the ocean of suffering. So, after hearing the message of Krishna, the gopis, they became somewhat relieved, and they worshipped Uddhava very nicely, because Uddhava was non-different than Krishna. He was exactly same. You know, Uddhava, he remained in Vrindavan for many months, and throughout his stay of Vrindavan, he was talking about so many of the various pastimes of Krishna. You know, so many pastimes. And although Uddhava spent so many months, all these duration passed like a moment for Brajvasis, because Uddhava was speaking about Krishna continuously. So they did not even realize how time is passing by. Whenever Krishna would be in Vrindavan, he would see the beautiful mountains and the rivers and the forest and cows and the calves and the flowering trees and the valleys of Vrindavan. And he would continue to speak about the various pastimes. In this way, Brajvasis, they were delighted to be in the association of Uddhava. And then Uddhava, he was so very supremely happy and pleased by seeing such exalted devotion of the gopis. So, desiring to offer them all respects, he speaks 5 very, very beautiful verses glorifying the supreme exalted position of gopis. Eta param tanubrito bhuvi gopavadvo govinda eva nikhilatmaniruda bhava वाञ्छन्ति यद्भवधियो मुनयो वयं च किं ब्रह्म जन्मभिरनन्त कथारसस्य. So Uddhava is telling, etah param tanubhrita bhuvi. Among all the people on the earth, these gopis, they have actually perfected their lives. How? Are Govindeva Nikhilatmani Ruda Bhava, are they have attained the highest of the emotional, devotional ecstasies for Govinda. Vanchanti yad bhavabhyo munayo vayam cha. To have such, to attain such stage, it is hankered even by the great sages. Even Brahmaji, what is the use of attaining a life of Brahma? You know, if somebody has not attained such highest position like gopis, what is the use of taking birth as a highborn brahmana or even Lord Brahma himself? These gopis, they are so very amazing that by their behavior, although they, it may seem that they have disobeyed the social rules and regulations, vyabhichara dushta, vyabhichar, they have gone beyond their social regulations. They have not served their husbands properly. It seemed that they have not behaved properly religious socially, but because they have attained the highest perfection of love for Krishna, that is the best thing. And it is so very wonderful that Supreme Lord, he awards highest benediction to even an ignorant worshipper. Although gopis are not ignorant, you know but still they were ignorant of the awe and reverence and the supremacy of Krishna. He gives an example. Just like a medicine works, even though the person who is taking medicine does not know how the medicine is working, medicine still works. So therefore, Supreme Lord, he gives mercy to everybody. Nayam Shriyonganunitantarate prasada Swarayoshitam Nalinagandharucham Kutonya Rasotsave Swabhuja Danda Grihita Kantha Labdhashisham Yaudagad Vrajaballabhinam. The mercy which Krishna has bestowed on all these gopis. What type of mercy? He danced with all the gopis, putting his arm in their necks. This fortune is not even attained by the denizens of heaven. Even goddess of fortune has not received such mercy. That mercy he has given to all the Brajavasis. And what to speak of women on this planet? Even demigods, even Lakshmi Devi has not received such mercy. And these gopis, they have attained such mercy. And then Uddhava, he develops a desire. Very famous, beautiful verse. Asamaho charan renu juchamaham syam Vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam Yadustyajam swajanamare patham chahitva Bheju mukunda padavim shruti mrigyameva. Now, Uddhava is developing a desire. Let me take birth as a creeper in Vrindavan. Why? Gulmalata. I want to become a creeper in Vrindavan. Why? I want to have the dust of these gopis on my head. And if I go directly, because I am a princely person, these gopis, they will not give the dust. I don't want to embarrass them. I want to become a creeper in Vrindavan. These gopis, yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva, they have given up the most difficult things. They have given up the chastity. They have given up everything for Krishna. So that's therefore I want to have take birth as a creeper so that I can get the dust. goddess of fortune, and all the devtas, they worship the lotus feet of Krishna. To have a darshan of the lotus feet of Krishna is so very rare. And these ladies, these gopis, they are so very fortunate that Krishna, he put his lotus feet on their head. That is the glorious position of the Brajavasis, these gopis. Vande Nanda Brajastrinam Padarenum Abhikshnash Yasam Hari Kathogitam Punati Bhavanatrayam. Repeatedly I offer my obeisances. Not once, not twice, not thrice, not 5 times. Every moment I am offering obeisances till the time I don't get the mercy of the dust of their feet on my head. I'll continue to offer my respects to these gopis. Padarenum Abhikshnash. I offer my respects to the dust of the feet of the gopis. Yasam Hari Kathodgitam. When these gopis they chant loudly the glories of Krishna, you know what happens? Punati Bhuvanatrayam. All the three worlds become purified. So after glorifying Uddhava gopis in this way, Uddhava he took permission from Nand Maharaj, Yashoda, and gopis and all the other Brajvasis and bid them farewell. Nand Maharaj and all the other cowherdmen they came, they worshipped Uddhava, and Nand Maharaj he started speaking. Says, "O Uddhava, may our mental functions always take shelter of Krishna." Such it is so very astonishing that Nand Maharaj and Yashoda, who are always thinking of Krishna, he is praying like this. May my mental functions be always taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. May our words always chant his names. May our bodies always work in such a way so that we can attain Krishna Prem. And then he continues that wherever we wander because of our fruitive work, whatever we may be doing, we may be coming close to Krishna. In this way, Uddhava was honored by Nand Maharaj, and then Uddhava returned back to Mathura. And after returning to Mathura, he spoke about the unparalleled love of the gopis and the Brajavasis which he saw in Vrindavan to all the Yadu members, to Vasudev, to Devaki, to Krishna, Balram, Ugrasen. Everybody was surprised and they were feeling so very blessed and fortunate to hear wonderful discussions, wonderful pastime of gopis, the highest love of the gopis. So this is the end of this chapter. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shla Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Are there any questions? You can ask now. So I'm not sure about when Uddhava visited Vrindavan, after how many days. It is not mentioned. Are there any other questions? Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shla Prabhupada ki jai.
Hey.